Leigha here. Welcome to this 30-minute Vinyasa Flow intermediate level yoga class. And we'll start right at the top of our mats in Tadasana pose with arms released at our sides, just slowing our breath down here. And we'll join hands at our hearts. And then bend knees super low. Reach your arms back, tuck your chin. I call this downhill skier pose. On an inhalation, reach your heart up, arms up for Utkatasana, and we'll do it again. Exhaling for downhill skier, tight little ball there. Inhalation, reach your heart up, arms up, Utkatasana, stand all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, diving down into forward fold. Let's inhale to look forward and come all the way back up to stand, palms touching overhead and hands sliding through our hearts. Let's do it again. Bend knees, reach all the way back, tucking your chin. And we'll sweep the arms up, the heart up for Utkatasana, your chair pose. Exhaling, bow deeply down. And again, inhalation, reaching the arms all the way up for Utkatasana, standing tall, upward hands. And then leading with your heart, let's dive down again for forward fold. Come all the way down into this fold. And then peek forward on an inhale. Exhale, let's hop right back to Chaturanga. Inhaling to roll the heart up for up dog or cobra if you prefer. Exhaling, find your way into downward facing dog and get yourself settled in here. And tap right into our Ujjayi breath, finding that whisper at the back of your throat. Distributing breath down into your legs. And coming up onto toes, we'll bend the knees and step or hop to the top of your mat, landing lightly and folding all the way forward for Uttanasana. Lead with the heart as you stand all the way up, palms touching overhead, and then the hands sliding again through the heart center. Let's bend into the knees, find downhill skier on a deep exhale. Sweep your arms up for chair pose, and then dive down over straight legs. Send the heart forward on an inhalation and step or spring to lower down, chaturanga, or whatever it is you like to lower down into. Taking your upward facing dog or cobra, glorious inhalation, and then exhaling, finding downward facing dog, and warming up with these salutes. We'll spread every finger wide. Come high onto toes, bend knees, and step or hop to the top. Folding all the way down, find your Uttanasana. And then lift, leading with the heart, let the palms touch overhead. And hands come right back into heart. Bend into knees, reach the arms back, tuck your chin. Finding Utkatasana and a big inhalation. And exhaling to dive over straight legs. Feed the belly to the heart, look forward, and then step or spring to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhalation lifts and opens the heart. And then an exhalation carries you right back into downward facing dog. We'll sweep the right leg high. We'll open up the hip, bend this knee, and point it as high as you can, keeping the shoulders pretty even. You could even find some movement in that right hip. I'm making little circles. We'll draw the right knee to the right tricep, making a plank-like pose, and then inhale to sweep your right leg back again high. Right knee crosses the body to the left tricep, taps, and then sweeps right back up. Now, knee comes forward. We'll pause here, coming onto left fingertips and aiming to reach the left arm forward with as little movement as you possibly can. Let's step the right foot between our hands, the left fingers will touch down, and the right arm will shift forward as this left leg extends. And we'll do this a few times, so if that felt confusing the first round, we'll get the hang of it after a while. Let's shift weight onto right fingertips as we swing the left leg all the way up to the level of your hip, aiming to keep the heel up pretty high so the leg is parallel to the ground. We'll sweep the left leg back behind us, finding half moon pose, stretching this left arm up as high as it'll go. Keep a lot of life in that standing leg, and then slowly descend right into peaceful warrior, the right arm sweeping back across your ear line, and here just finding nice big breaths. Set your right fingers down for side angle pose. Left arm all the way across your ear. Roll the heart up toward the sky as high as you can. The transition will be into horse stance, bending both knees, spinning the feet wide, and taking cactus arms. On an inhalation, reach up to star, lift your arms and heart, and then exhale, dive right down into Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged fold, making sure the feet are parallel. You can use your inhalations as a chance to get length into your spine, and your exhalations as a chance to find depth. Point the sits bones as high as you can, and then stretch your heart forward. We'll pivot over to this left foot, bending into that knee, and keeping the left hand down low now for side angle here, right arm across the ear line. We'll shift all the way up into peaceful warrior. And then exhale, roll your hands down and around, and we'll sweep this left leg high up for three-legged dog, waving forward. Cross that left ankle over the right ankle and find your vinyasa this way. Shoulder blades together as you peel the heart up. Exhale, dip down low, and find your downward facing dog. Sweeping the left leg high, let's stack that hip and bend this knee, making micro circles in the left hip if that feels good. On an exhalation, draw the left knee to your left tricep, waving toward a plank pose. Inhalation, sweep the left leg back behind you, and we'll cross this knee all the way to the right tricep, tapping. Inhalation slides the left leg high, and then we'll send this knee forward right in toward your chest, aiming to keep your strong plank as you come onto right fingertips, maybe even extending the right arm forward. With as much control as you can, the left foot steps forward. Now the right fingertips land, the left arm stretches forward, and the right leg kicks back. Lengthen as much as you can, and then touch back down to the ground with the left fingertips. We'll move this right leg forward until the foot is as high as your hip and the leg is in line with your pelvis. You can even peek out at your own toes. Move this right leg back into place. Now for Ardha Chandrasana, rolling the right arm up high. Keep some vitality in the floating leg. And then slowly descend, sliding right in for peaceful warrior. This time we'll take our hands into reverse prayer, lying back into your own support so your heart can expand. Let's keep these reverse prayer hands and find side angle pose again. And if you can, tuck that left elbow right in front of the left thigh, peeking up. We'll stand up tall, straightening both legs and crouching for horse stance. Spine tall as the knees bend. Sweep your arms up high, big star shape. Exhaling to dive down for wide-legged fold, feet parallel. If you'd like to, you can bring this into an inversion. I'm taking tripod headstand. I'll do a little play with Padottanasana legs, and even goalpost-shaped legs. Calf and femur about 90 degrees. Maybe you extend into Upavishta, full wide legs, and then set it all the way back down, stretching your heart forward, and then pivoting over to face this right foot. And we'll do this sequence again in reverse prayer, something like it. Right elbow right in front of the right thigh. Can you roll your left rib cage up toward the ceiling? Keep powerful in the legs and come all the way up to peaceful warrior, lying back into the support of your own prayer hands. Let's get free through the arms now, reaching the right arm across the ear. And then sweeping down and around. Hands will frame this foot, and the right leg can sweep high for three-legged dog. Crossing right ankle right over left ankle as you descend toward chaturanga. Squeeze shoulder blades up and onto your back as you lift your heart high for cobra. And then find your way into downward facing dog. right onto toes, bending your knees and stepping or springing to the top of the mat. Folding in for Uttanasana and leading with your heart as you stand all the way up tall, hands sliding into Anjali Mudra. We'll release arms at our sides and then bend the knees to sink low, reach the arms back again, tucking your chin. Finding Utkatasana, your chair pose, before you dive right down into forward fold. Look forward onto the horizon and then step or spring to Chaturanga Dandasana, rolling through your vinyasa flow and making your way back into downward facing dog. With the right leg stretching high, let's stack the hip and point the knee up very high. This time maybe you peek up over the left shoulder and try to catch a glimpse of your own toes. We'll slide the right knee across the body to left tricep, maybe taking koundinyasana 1 if you want it, chaturanga arms and straight legs. Sweep your right leg back, stack the hip again, bend the knee, and now right knee all the way to right tricep. If you want to try it, koundinyasana 2, both legs extended, chaturanga arms. Sweep the right leg high for three-legged dog, planting this foot right between your hands. Shift weight forward, reaching the right arm forward and the left leg back. And then we'll slide into this position again with the left heel at the level of your hip. Only if you want to play with it, we'll do half Anjali Mudra, half prayer hand, right hand into the heart. We'll swing back for Ardha Chandrasana, left leg hovering parallel to the ground. If you'd like to add an element, you could wrap this left arm around your lower back and see where your fingers can fit. Maybe you can get them into the side of your waist. We'll take it low and come right into a side angle pose. If you like, come right into the bound variation or any variation that suits. Rolling the heart up as high as I can, and then sweeping right into Peaceful Warrior. Lift your heart, and then find your way to horse stance, cactus arms. Sweep up high for star shape, diving down, paralleling the feet. Find your Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged fold. And find some depth in it this round if you like. Walk your hands as far back as they'll go. On an inhalation, stretch the chest forward, and we'll pivot over to find side angle at the left side. You can bind up your arms if you like that variation, rolling the right ribs up toward the ceiling. Let's free up the arms, coming back into Shanti Virabhadrasana, our Peaceful Warrior. And then rolling the hands down and around. We'll sweep this left leg high. And take a vinyasa of your choosing. I like Gandhabharandasana here. I'm doing chin stand. So you take the legs up as high as you're able. Do a little switch kick and travel through vinyasa flow, finding your way back into downward facing dog. Sweeping the left leg high. Let's stack this hip, bend the knee. Maybe peeking up past the right shoulder to see your own toes. We'll try koundinyasana 1 first, and that knee will have to cross the body, tap the right tricep. Find chaturanga arms. Keep the heart pretty light as you extend your legs. We'll set the right foot back down, sweeping left leg high, and then we'll try koundinyasana 2. But first, stack the hip, bend the knee, and point it as high as it'll go. Left knee taps the left tricep now. Chaturanga arms, extend both legs. Keep a little lightness in your heart. Taking flight. Set it back down, sweep the left leg high. And then we'll plant the left foot right between our hands. Shift weight onto the left foot as you extend the left arm forward and the right leg back. Set the left fingers down, transferring weight onto the left foot and sending this right foot up as high as the hip. If you want to play with it, take your half Anjali Mudra hands, half prayer hands. Left fingers touch back down as we rebuild our half moon shape, right leg hovering parallel to earth, right arm reaching high. If you'd like a variation, you could try wrapping this right arm right around your back. Let the fingers snuggle in where they can. Stay low and take it slow. as you build a bound side angle pose. You never have to find the bind. It's never important. If you'd like, you could take a strap in the right hand. Come all the way into Peaceful Warrior. And then transition through horse, crouching low, sweeping up high for star shape, diving down into forward fold. This time, let's take Padottanasana hands. So the hands will slide underneath your feet from the side of the toes, pointing to your heels. Lift your shoulders up and away from your ear to make a nice long neck. The elbows drift as wide as you can. We'll release hands and pivot over to face that right leg, finding your side angle again, bound if you'd like it to be. We'll release the arms and find our way back into Peaceful Warrior, lifting the heart up high. And then rolling hands down and around. We'll sweep this right leg high again and find any vinyasa of your choosing. Maybe you'd like to try a chin stand, a little hop switch for the legs. Maybe both legs lift all the way up. If you want to play with it, a little scorpion tail, bending knees, and squeezing the hamstrings. We'll end up together at downward facing dog. Once there, pushing the ground away, pressing the heart towards your toes, refinding Ujjayi. And coming up onto tiptoes, we'll step or spring to squat pose, sitting down low in Malasana. Hands at our hearts, spine as tall as you can make it. Send your arms forward, pinning the right arm in front of the right shin bone, planting the right hand down and reaching the left arm up high. If you'd like, we'll go for the full bind in this position, rolling the left chest up toward the ceiling. We'll release this. Interlacing hands right behind your head, and we'll pull the chin down, crouching low. Pinning now the left arm in front of the left shin, rolling the right arm all the way up toward the ceiling. If it helps you open a shoulder, you could reach all the way back for the full bind. If you find your own fingers, maybe you can find your own wrist. Keep rolling weight to the outer edges of your feet and finding smooth breaths. We'll release this, bowing down, and then straightening the legs. We'll take parallel feet and just give yourself a soft fold. If you like, you can step on fingers as I'm doing. I'm taking the hands from the outer edges of my feet, just folding in, shifting weight toe side, finding every angle of the hamstrings possible. Let's release the hands. Come up onto fingertips as you look forward. Heel toe the feet back together, crouching low for this downhill skier pose. Sweeping the arms up, find your Utkatasana, and then stand up tall in Tadasana. Let's release the arms by our sides. We'll shift into a balance pose, finding weight at the left foot as we hug the right knee into the chest. Send the left hand out across the right foot. We'll reach the right arm up, reaching back, finding this twisted Padottanasana shape. Ground down to lift the chest tall and reach the arms away. And then step all the way back, pivoting, facing the other edge of your mat. And we'll find this same balance on the opposite side, shifting weight to right foot and helping the left knee up towards your chest. Right hand crosses the knee or maybe the foot as your leg extends, and we'll reach the left arm up and all the way back, connecting from heel to glute, from glute to heart, and heart to crown. Aiming to stand tall and to widen through your heart. Shoulders softening down, and then we'll face forward, stepping right into Tadasana. Begin this sequence from this end of the mat. We'll bend into our knees, sink low. Arms reaching back and then sweeping up for Utkatasana, diving down into forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, look forward, then step or spring to lower down. Opening your heart with an inhalation and expansion, and an exhale into downward facing dog. With the right leg sweeping high, let's bend that knee, stacking the hip and maybe even flipping the dog this time into Chamatkarasana, wild thing. Huge opening. And as we roll over, we're going to try to cross this right knee all the way over to the left tricep. If you want to play with it, now's another chance for koundinyasana 1, if you want to. Chaturanga arms, extend the legs, and then set it all the way back down. Right leg will sweep up high, and then the foot will step between the hands. Right arm reaches forward as the left leg shoots back. Left leg swings up in line with your hip. And now we'll play with a little handstand drill. Left knee out really super wide. And you're just trying to jump onto the opposite foot and lifting the other knee, making the landing as soft and smooth as you can. So just switching a couple times. I'm doing it 3 times on each side. One knee's up, and then switch, land on that foot. The other knee is up. And then switch again, land on the right foot, the other knee is up. Go for 1 or 2 more cycles. Now's a really nice chance to pause if you'd like to play around with this a little bit. Try to catch control or maybe bring it to a wall. But eventually we'll end up with the right foot forward, coming all the way into Peaceful Warrior. Let's find another side angle shape, binding if you like to. But we'll straighten the right leg until this is Trikonasana. It could become a bound Trikonasana, or you could release the arms, stretching one up high and the other down low. Let's pivot so the left hand lands, and we'll take yogi toe hold of the right foot, shifting into Vasishthasana B, side plank B if you'd like it. Opening this right leg as high as you possibly can. It's really safe for the shoulder if you have that base hand, the left hand, a few inches forward of the left shoulder. We'll guide the right foot all the way back to the top of the mat, setting the left knee down. Keep your arms hanging heavy as you shift into Crescent Lunge, this big heart opening. We'll take a fold over the right leg, flexing that foot for half Hanumanasana. And then if you'd like to explore it, take your full Hanumanasana, full split pose. Playing with any arm variations that are calling you. I love to find a heart opening, a little half bind. Maybe even Gomukhasana arms. This is all an effort to find more space in the chest for big breaths. Planting the hands, we'll slide the right leg up high behind us for 3-legged dog. Finding any vinyasa flow you'd like to take. Maybe you're ready for a little hop into chaturanga. And back into downward facing dog. For our second side, we'll sweep the left leg up high. Stacking your hip, bend your knee. If you'd like to, flip the dog, Chamatkarasana, wild thing, huge open heart. Even the pelvis breathes open. The transition will be all the way to koundinyasana 1 if you'd like to try it. This left knee is going to reach all the way over to the right tricep. Both hands will land. You'll chaturanga your arms, dip the heart really far forward, and possibly extend both legs. Set it all the way back down into 3-legged dog, left leg sweeping high. We'll step this foot between our hands, shifting weight forward. Send the left arm forward and the right leg back. Transitioning again for this funky shape, left fingers down the right leg, all the way up in line with your hip. And from here we'll do a little handstand playtime if you'd like to. That right knee is going to start up really nice and high as you can get it. We'll just do our hop switch. The right foot lands and now the left knee is shifting high. And do it again. Hop, switch. The left foot lands, the right knee shifts high. So that upper leg is already in place as you keep hopping and switching sides. It just helps you transfer weight from the ground up into the ether. Eventually, the left foot will land, and then we'll take a slow descent all the way into a low lunge, a side angle. Can bind it up. And we'll straighten out the left leg. You can make this Uttita Trikonasana with the arms extended, or keep your bind. We'll release our arms, taking both hands down. Keep the right hand planted and grab hold of Yogi Toe Lock with the left hand. Peel that door wide open for Vashisthasana B pose, this side plank variation. Think Upavishta legs if you can, wide legs. Keep lifting out of the bottom shoulder. And then we'll slowly guide this left foot back toward the top of your mat, setting the right knee down. Let's keep our arms dangling low as we find this heart opening, lifting the heart up toward the heavens and melting into the hips. We'll shift weight into half Hanumanasana, straightening the left leg as you fold. And you could keep it right here or extend the back leg too for full Hanumanasana. A little exploration time. Maybe you open the heart, play with your arms, even find Gomukh arms, the right elbow bending up top. And take some time. And we'll slowly release. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, and sweep the left leg very high behind for three-legged dog. Maybe a little hop into chaturanga if you like. And take any vinyasa that suits. And we'll end up meeting at downward facing dog. Always a good place to reset Ujjayi breath, to come back into yourself no matter what has happened on the mat. Let's prepare to jump all the way through to sit down, legs extending forward. And we'll ultimately bend the left knee into the chest for Marichyasana shape legs. Folding right down and squeezing that left knee into your midline. If you know the bind here, you could bind it up. We'll release it, tipping back and switching sides, folding down over the left leg, squeezing right knee into the chest, possibly binding this. Good hamstring opening. Also a bit of a shoulder opening. And then releasing, we'll scoot toward the top of the mat. Lying all the way down to prepare for a back bend. Coming right into any back bend that will serve you at the end of this practice. Maybe it's wheel, maybe it's bridge. If you're in wheel, pressing the heart between your arms. You could even think handstand arms. Staying for as long as it feels intuitively right to stay. When you come out, you could hug the knees into the outer ribs. Preparing now for final relaxation pose. And of course, taking any last twist or posture that'll feel good before you find Shavasana. Allowing yourself to melt into the ground. Little by little, relinquishing control of your breath. Letting go of any tension that still exists in your muscles. You'll feel a heaviness all the way into the bones. even the eyeballs resting in their sockets. We have about a minute here together. Please, of course, feel free to take an extended Shavasana, but I'll cue you when our video is over. And only when you feel ready, and climb back up to seated position. Thank you for watching. Namaste.